Now let's go to the fifth trumpet, chapter 9, Revelation chapter 9, the fifth trumpet. Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star falling from heaven to the earth. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. That's the first verse. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. Again, the atmosphere is going to be horrifically affected because of these judgments. Then out of the smoke locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing, or any tree, but only those men who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. Now, how many people are going to have the seal of God on their foreheads? From the previous chapter, we know there's only going to be 144,000, and those 144,000 are coming strictly from the nation of Israel, 12,000 from each tribe. Everybody else is going to be susceptible to this. And they were not given authority to kill men, but to torment them for 5 months. Their torment was like that of the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. In those days, men will seek death and will not find it. Can you imagine everybody wanting to die because things will be so terrible? That's what life is going to be like on earth after the dispensation of grace is over and the judgments of God begin. But again, like I've said many times, his judgments are only going to come upon those people that refused his grace and mercy and killed and persecuted his saints. Very important to keep in mind. The shape of the locusts was like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were crowns of something like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. They had hair like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. And they had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots with many horses running into battle. And they had tails like scorpions, and they had stings in their tails. Their power was to hurt men for 5 months. And they had a king over them, the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek he has the name Apollyon. 1 woe is past. Still 2 more woes are coming after these things. And again, you see, there is an exact order and sequence. Now, I believe this judgment is for those that live in the Antichrist kingdom. They're going to, you got to understand. God needs to keep certain nations around for the battle of Armageddon, which is the last battle, so those armies can form against it. The other parts of the earth, he has no need for after the time of the rapture and after the time of, actually after the dispensation of grace is over. So those nations could be destroyed, and that's what happens. You see, a third of the trees are burnt up, a third of the waters are made bitter. That's what happens there. So now we get to this trumpet, this sixth trumpet, and here's what it says. Then the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, release the 4 angels who were bound at the great river Euphrates. So the 4 angels who had been prepared for the hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. Can you imagine? A third of mankind is going to be killed, just as a result of this judgment. Now, the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million. I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision. Those who sat on them had breastplates of fiery red, blue, and sulfur yellow. And the heads of the horses were like the heads of lions. And out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and brimstone. By these 3 plagues, a third of mankind was killed, by the fire and the smoke and the brimstone which came out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails are like serpents, having heads, and with them they do harm. But the rest of mankind, who were not killed by these plagues, did not repent of the works of their hands, that they should not worship demons and idols of gold, silver, brass, stone, and wood, which can neither see nor hear nor walk. And they did not repent of their murders or of their sorceries or of their sexual immoralities or their thefts. So here's what we see. That God's judgments are coming upon these people because they were worshiping the Antichrist. He's going to have an image, which again, when we get to that earthly perspective in Revelation 12, it describes the image. They did not repent of their murders, their sorceries, or their sexual immorality, or their thefts. So as a result, God is judging them. And these judgments are coming upon those who refuse to repent and accept the grace and mercy of God. And I can't say that enough. Now we move into Revelation chapter 10. We're almost to the point of Christ returning here. And here's what it says. I saw still another mighty angel coming down from heaven clothed with a cloud. And a rainbow was on his head. His face was like the sun, and his feet like the pillars of fire. He had a little yellow book in his hand. And he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, and cried with a loud voice as when a lion roars. When he cried out, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write. But I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, seal up the things which the 7 thunders uttered, and do not write them. The angel who I saw standing on the sea and on the land raised up his hand to heaven, and swore by him who lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are in it, the earth and the things that are in it, and the sea and the things that are in it, that there should be delay no longer. But in the days of the sounding of the 7th angel, when he is about to sound, the mystery of God would be finished, as he declared to his servants, the prophets. Then the voice which I heard from heaven spoke to me again and said, go, take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel who stands on the sea and on the earth. So I went to the angel and said to him, give me the little book. And he said to me, take it and eat it, and it will make your stomach bitter, but it will be as sweet as honey in your mouth. Then I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it. And it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. But when I had eaten it, my stomach became bitter. And he said to me, you must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. Okay, now we're getting to the time of the second return of Christ. And that's going to be for the next show. I'm Mike Vilardi. Thank you for watching. This was show number 3 on our series on Revelation. God bless you.